JB Illusion here, back from Team Adventures of Stealthy Elven Rigger in Shadowrun Dragonfall. In the last Swing installment, we managed to stop Dr. Volkler, who sadly killed himself after seeing 47 years of work not come to fruition, and we also wound up talking to the Firewing before we released her, and yeah, this is intriguing. What I find so interesting is within the course of, let's say, a few moments, Dr. Volkler became a very, what's the word I'm looking for? He became a figure that we would feel bad for, that we would feel sorry for. Despite everything that he has done to us, 47 years of work to stop these creatures that had caused so much pain to the people around him went up in smoke. And you gotta feel a little bad for that. You really do. And then the Firewing, as soon as we get her down here, she looks at her body, finds out what was done to it, and says that she is going to slowly burn and flay the deceased doctor alive. That's how she reacts. And then when we say, hey, you know, could you talk to us for a little bit? We have some questions. She says, no, do this now. Free me. It's interesting. Because really, it's like both of them, I want to say two sides of the same coin, but it's interesting how quickly the poor little defenseless dragon became someone who was full of anger and ordering others to do what needs to be done only on the authority that she may murder them slowly and painfully later. I find that really intriguing. You see, you dare, no, ask. Ask your question, little elf, so I may escape this cage. The long sleep waits, the long flight will finally end. You see? Why'd you do it? Why'd you kill all those people? The gaunt woman covers her mouth with her hand, a look of horror in her eyes. You did do it, right? You burned thousands of people to death. She glares at you over her hand, nods her head, yes. Burned. Burned and burned and burned and burned, yes. All so cold. I woke to the cold, the gray. Where is the green, elf? Where is the green? What green are you talking about? The mother lost. What have they done, little elf? What have they done? How do you... I know you won't have anyone else. Wait, so is she talking about... So... I know from knowing a little bit about Shadowrun that, you know, things that are non-organic don't really have, like, a magical resonance, unless it's, like, a magical rock or whatever. Or, well, I'm saying non-organic. So, like, steel, skyscrapers, whatever we've done to the environment. So, did she kill all those people trying to reclaim the environment? How do I know you won't hurt anyone else? Swear it. Firewing will swear it. Okay. How do I know you'll keep your promise? He searches the ground for an answer, finds nothing there. You must trust. Trust your dragon? Do I look like a fool to you, lizard? I don't know. I'm not the trusting type. She looks at you sharply. Take care, little stealth. Take care. She thinks. You will trust because I will lay my oath. Swear. Yes, swear. Swear. Not. Swear to hurt no man, no beast, no tree, no crop, no building. Firewing will fly to the long sleep until the next age of the world, for the forever task, the shelter, the shield, the shepherd. The shelter, the shield, the shepherd. She sheltered no one, she shielded no one, and she shepherded no one when she woke up. The shelter, the shield, the shepherd? Sacred. It is a sacred. The deed must be done. The shelter, the shield, the shepherd. Now let me go, or end me, but release me. Release! The gaunt woman begins pacing her cell, up the back, and... up and back. Anyone know what the hell she's talking about? The forever task? Is it to protect something? Something important? Something sacred? The gaunt woman stops her pacing, and her eyes slowly rise to meet you, lucid, unblurred by time or torture or separation from her body. When she speaks, her voice is flat. I am the shelter, I am the shield, I am the shepherd, and I have failed the green. Okay. So did she not wake up? Was she supposed to somehow prevent what's happened in the world? Because, I mean, think about it like this. She wound up in the Sox, which is an incredibly irradiated area. Or she did wind up in the Sox. But after waking up and seeing parts of the world, maybe she was a little upset with how humans had done some things? Because before the nuclear issues with the Sox, there were other areas. So the forever task is to protect the green. What's the green? The dragon in the woman sways a little, swallows hard. The sacred she, the Gaia she, the desecrated body, Gaia. So the earth? I smelled it first long ago, on my first flight after I awoke. The stink of it choked me and I retched. Then I saw it, for as far as my eyes could see, far, far to the horizon. Human stone and metal, glass and flickering lights, sprawled across the land, slicing into the sky, lording over the green, smothering the whole of the world. Yes, gone, all gone. The cold has won, the world is metal, Firewing has lost. You're not lost. You said you would begin again, remember? Don't give up hope. What is it you wish, dragon? He looks at you sadly, longingly. Will you finish it, little elf? Will you end Firewing? Okay, I need a minute. I want to say we could talk to anyone else, but So essentially, she's like a caretaker of the world in DragonCon. Like, I know dragons do have like certain statuses. Like, at some point in time, Dunkelzahn, I'm probably pronouncing his name, I apologize for butchering it, was like the arbiter between dragons. When all the dragons had to meet up and take care of business, he was the one banging the gavel. And then eventually, that after his death, that wound up being either Hestaby or Lufwir, depending on an adventure. And I think by canon, it's Lufwir now. And then that was a big thing for him. So was she like the guardian of the earth and she failed? Activate the intercom. What will you do now, elf? You're not lost. You said you would begin again, remember? That is the eternal task, yes, to sleep the long sleep, begin again, in the next age of the world. She wraps her arms around herself, quietly shivering. Lost, Firewing is lost. There will be no slumber. The world is dead now, Firewing is dead. Will you finish it? No. A forever task requires patience and faith. The next world could be better. I have been ripped from my body, little elf, imprisoned in this girl, imprisoned in this cage, tortured longer than the span of your entire lifetime. And I have been defiled. The green is defiled, spoiled. There is no forever me. Forever is dead. Wow. I do not want to sleep the long sleep. I want oblivion. End me, little elf. The green needs you. You're a shelter, a shield, her shepherd. Don't abandon her. Because if you do abandon her, all hope is lost. Is this something Stealth learned? Is this... Well, technically you could apply that to the keys as well. Aren't we the keys? Shelter, shield, and shepherd? Maybe you're right. Maybe everlasting peace is the best thing for you now. As you wish, goodbye. I think Stealth at this point realizes that there need to be some people around to protect certain things. I cannot abandon what does not exist. The green is gone, the cold has won. No, the cold hasn't won. Don't forget the elves. They still tend the green. Amazonia? It's covered in jungle, true. But the elves also, well, he would say the elves because he'd know he is an elf. Or at least maybe he's heard stories of the green. Her brow furrows, and her head of stringy hair inclines. The elves? Yes, look at Tir Nanog. Can't pronounce that. Elven cities devoted to the green, to keep it safe. Her eyes widen as the memories return. They would build walls around it, as before. The green still lives. She holds her head in her hands. It lives. You are the Firewing, or the Firewing. While you live, the green will live. You tell me, dragon. You know it's true. The gaunt woman pulls herself to her full height, speaks as if to herself. While the green still lives, the task remains, until the world ends. The vessel holding the dragons lifts her face to the sky she cannot see. Perhaps it is not too late. Sleep. Sleep would bring healing, my nest. Her fragile form trembles, but she steadies herself. When she speaks again, her voice is calm, at peace. If you release me, little elf, I will sleep the long sleep. I will begin again in the next age of the world. And end her life? I'm sorry, but I just can't take that risk. No, you can't talk her out of it. I need a minute. Need a minute. And of course, no one feels like talking. So whatever. We'll talk to her. Sleep well, Firewing, and goodbye. The gaunt woman drops to her knees, her face reflecting a series of emotions: surprise, relief, appreciation, and finally, peace. Then the light exits her eyes, and she falls to the floor of her tiny cell, her body limp and lifeless. For a long moment, nothing happens. Then, without warning, the entire chamber fills with a blinding light. You can see nothing. All goes eerily quiet. And yet somewhere, just at the edge of your hearing, you think you can recognize the faint whispering of voices. They sound sad and far away. Just as you think you might discern the voices, there is a massive crash, and the entire chamber starts to shake. Disoriented, you stagger for several moments, still blinded and trying to recover. The Firewing has been freed, and she can sleep until the 7th world. And hopefully things will be a little bit better by then. You steady yourself, and your senses return in time to see the faint form of the dragon disappearing in the distance. Then, the Firewing is gone. My head tells me we released the dragon, but I can't help feeling that we did the right thing. She was a great dragon, Dietrich. An insane great dragon. Lord knows what she's going to do now. What Volkler did to her was wrong, but all the same, I'm not sure that I'd have made the same call. Right, wrong? What does it matter now? What's done is done. Besides, Chief, that was totally badass play. 10 points for style, no questions about it. I love Litz. Badass, huh? Dietrich smiles wryly. Well then, I know that we did the right thing. Come on, boss, let's get out of here. Because Dragon Slayer probably gave his approval. Alright. I guess it's time to get out of here now. The Firewing has been freed. Oh, we have to get out this way. The Firewing has been freed. And hopefully, she does actually, you know, agree to our terms. And she just goes to sleep. Set the facility to self-destruct, yeah. Ordering the process will lock down all further terminal access. Yep. Base destruction commencing. You punch the button, the alarm klaxons blare, and ominous rumbling sounds fill the air, and the walls start to shake. That settles that. Come on, boss. Let's get the hell out of here. Right behind you. Oh, we gotta exit this way. Let's get out of here before the place actually does come down on top of us. Let's get out. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Stealth begrudgingly saved the Firewing after making sure that she would hold on to her promise. You step out of the van, climbing down into the tunnel leading back to your safe house. Just hours ago, you saved Berlin from fire and ash, from the would-be sacrifice of Dr. Adrian Volkler. It feels strange now, returning in secret, in silence. The other residents of the Keys go about their business, unaware of what almost happened here tonight. It's finally over. Your team and your Keys are safe once again. Man, this is why this is probably my favorite Shadowrun game out of the trilogy of Shadowrun Return, Shadowrun Dragonfall, and Shadowrun Hong Kong. Because I just feel like the story was so tight. You know, there was just so many different interesting characters that led into different. Like there were so many mirrors from certain characters. Alright, let's meet with the team and see what's up. And we got our Wolfhound drone fixed up. Good stuff. The team is waiting when you walk in. Their faces are haggard, their shoulders slumped. Was there a point to all this stealth? We lost Paul, lost Monica, the Keys, so many people dead. It was just supposed to be a simple job, remember a milk run? Get into the estate, snatch some data, and get home in time for Worm Talk on the Trid. I'm thinking we had enough Worm Talk for one lifetime. There's no simple jobs ever. That's part of the gig. Yeah, it wasn't a milk one, but Volker's plan failed because of us. That's something. I get that, Stealth, I do, but that's not who I am. I'm a soldier. I take orders and I execute them. This whole thing about dragons taking over the world, the thought of them slowly hoarding everything, it's too big to think about. We're street level. We run the shadows, that's it. Worrying about these sorts of issues is beyond our pay grade. That's what they want. That's what they need, the corps, the dragons, the politicians, everyone. They want us to think that we can't make a difference. They put effort, a lot of effort, into making us feel small, insignificant. Our dragon friend immediately went towards that when she wanted to be freed. Interesting. But we're not. We had the power in our hands today. We had a choice and we made it, and because of that, the world is different. For good or for ill. That's right, for good or ill. We can't see the future. I don't think that anyone can. But the world is different now, and we're the ones who changed it. So did we, did we win? You don't win in this business, you survive. That's all a runner can hope for. I'll tell you what we did. We avenged Monica and Paul. That was what we set out to do, and we did it. You watched the team take this in, Iger nodding her in agreement. Glory staring ahead, lost in thought, Dietrich frowning, eyeing the floor, Blitz fiddling with his deck, and pretending not to understand. Iger breaks the silence. So now what? Monica's gone, Paul's gone. Do we keep running together, or is this the end of the road? Glory steps forward, her expression's troubled. I'm afraid that I'm out, for a while at least. I have some personal business to attend to. There's a man that I need to find, a vicious, repulsive monster who needs to be brought to justice. Stealth knows what I'm talking about. I might be gone for a long time. For the time being, you should write me off. Maybe find someone to fill my shoes. But this place is my home, and you people are my family, I promise you. When the job's done, I'll come back to the Keys. I hope that you'll still have me. We'll be here, Glory. I'm proud of you, Glory. I hope you find what you're looking for. Glory nods. I will. And Stealth, thank you. I'll miss you, love. Be safe. Well, I'm in. I'm getting kind of old for a Shadowrunner, but I'd rather die in the shadows with you people than live. I don't know. I thought I had something there. Whatever. The point is I'm in. That was beautiful, man. I return to you. So Stealth, you gonna stick around the Keys and keep running the shadows with me? You've done a hell of a job. I'd be happy to follow your lead. Depends. Are we done with the fearless leader crap? I've never run with the team this good. I'd be stupid to give it up. If it means picking up where Monica left off and keeping Keys safe, I'm in too. We'll go with the second option. Right there with you, Stealth. Iger looks around, realizes that she forgot Blitz. What about you, Blitz? What about me? Blitz's expression is sober. I mean, sure, whatever. I got nowhere else to go, and no one to give a shit about me. Why not hang out with insane dragons, assholes toting enormous machine guns, and devil dogs that hump my leg when no one's looking? He sighs. Could be fun, right? So count me in, I guess. Iger snorts a laugh, then she's back to business. Before I forget, the Turkish coffee guy sent one of the street rats over before you got here. Said he wants to talk to you about something. Thanks. I'm going to see what's going on the Keys. I'll stop by the coffee shop on my way. Interesting. Is there anything that Dietrich has to say for us before we head over to Altog? Well, boss, we went up against a dragon and lived. He pulls a flask from his jacket and raises it in salute. I guess that's a win in my book, true. So, any big plans looming on the horizon? New clients you're thinking of going after, maybe? We'll worry about that tomorrow. Tonight we celebrate. He takes a swig from his flask. You're right, boss. Of course you're right. Oh, and Stealth. I meant what I said earlier. From this point on, wherever this team goes, I'll follow. I wouldn't have it any other way. I love Dietrich. We never really figured out where exactly, you know, his whole deal with Dragon Slayer is going to lead him. On the one hand, I love having him with us, but we never really came to that. You know, does he go after a specific corp to make his enemy? How's that work out? I think maybe we might do something similar to that. Well, in the writing, when I eventually write all this up. Those final words, we'll see. Yep, she's not talking to us. She sold us everything in the kitchen sink. Hey! We got the magic guy, Algernon. What's up with him? Algernon hums tunelessly to himself while he fiddles with one of his many talismans. When he sees you, he smiles broadly. Here he is absent, the clear-sighted one. To be certain, the elf to be heralded with much praise, Algernon Half-Dream. Though through his release of the Great Worm, will have ramifications to be sure. The day is full of portent. Do you two ever speak plainly? No. Rarely. Absence speaks slowly, choosing her words. The Firewing Worm is not a minor player in the Great Cycle. The effects of her release will resonate across time and space. Before the next cycle's end, the Firewing Worm will speak again, but the voice of the maiden. The dancer will spin, the seal will melt, and the calm lake will burn again. This I prophecy. Algernon purses his lips annoyed. You make it sound like a bad thing. Do not jest, Half-Dream. We must be going. And soon. Going? Where are you going? Machu Picchu. It is in South America. I have business there that has become urgent. It will not be urgent till tomorrow, Half-Dream. You have time to pack up your wares. There is more to it than that, woman, and you know it. He bows to you with a flourish. Goodbye, Stealth. We will meet again, I think. Though not for a long, long time. Interesting. Well, let's talk to Altag. He called us the clear-sighted one. So basically, if we killed the Firewing, that effect could have had dire consequences in the future. Ah, how very propitious it is that we may speak again, O Master of Mayhem. I have a proposal for you that could prove most lucrative to us. Both effendom. Most lucrative. Oh, he called me an elf in German. Fortune will surely smile upon our blessed partnership, if you will only accept. I'm listening, O Master of Hyperbole. With the passing of Herr Amzel, may God bestow his mercy on him. You find yourself without a fixer. I wish to offer my services to you in this regard. You will find that Altag is a more connected and business-savvy partner. Sounds like a match made in heaven. Using a fixer is something you do lightly, Altag? I need to think about it. It's not something you do lightly. Hear me out. Most improvident of calamities. Altag knows Berlin, knows the players. I've already found a potential client, a most prosperous one with deep pockets. He is most eager to meet you. I have already set it up. At least do me the courtesy of talking to him. Fine, but I'm not promising anything. Most excellent. Delightful. When you are ready, take the U-Bahn over to Brandenburger Tor. He will find you there. Do we have a new client after all this crap happens? I'm expecting to like run into Firewing, saying, you know what, I'm going to kill you regardless. There's still blood on these streets. That's insane. Yep, and they're still burying bodies. One of those was Stealth's friend, who he helped out of her drug problem. Okay, let's board the train. Who could this person be? Wait, what? The train car is empty except for the man in the immaculately tailored Italian suit. You notice him watching you for several minutes while the train rumbles its way towards Brandenburger Tor. Finally, he speaks. The stranger's words come out slowly in a deep, melodious tone that is easy to hear. Despite the noise of the train, he makes his time, accentuating each word, relishing each vowel and each consonant, tasting them as if they were a delicacy. Hello. I assume that the business with Dr. Vauclair is concluded, yes? Do I know you, friend? No, but you're about to. Hans Brackhaus? I.e., this could be Lufwir, one of the great dragons. The man inclines his head slightly in introduction. Look at his eyes. Hans Brackhaus, I represent an interested party, someone who wishes to know more about your encounter with Dr. Vauclair. How do you know about that? Does this interested party understand that information is a commodity? Brackhaus continues, my employer also wishes to hear about the Lady Firewing, a fascinating creature so unlike her brothers and sisters. It is a relief she is now free. Dragons are not meant for captivity. The lady, least of all. She was special in this world. I'm sure you would agree. Maybe, but let's face it, dragons are scary. Dragons are no different than anyone else. There are those who take and those who get taken. A dragon is just another taker. I don't know. Dragons are dangerous. He purses his lips, considering. This is undeniable. And as it should be, the great dragons are very old and very powerful, and very, very cunning. A cunning unknowable to you. You look at a moth and barely perceive sentience. You glance its way, amused as it flutters towards a bright light in a vain attempt to what? To enter, to draw strength, to burn? It doesn't know. Its epic struggle is barely 1/100th of your lifespan. The sum total of its existence is nothing against the vast scale of your struggles, your hopes, your dreams, which it could not fathom in 10,000 years. Poor moth. He leans forward. You will live and die between the beats of a dragon's heart, mine friend. What hope do you have of understanding them? No kidding, insane dragons are even harder to understand, but I was able to get through to her, for a moment at least. None, she massacred thousands, and a stranger on a train cell calls her fascinating. Obviously, this is all beyond my comprehension. I understand enough. The Firewing was a great dragon, and she was insane. I don't need to. I have enough troubles of my own to take care of. Not to care about what a great dragon thinks, but that isn't exactly the lesson of the story, is it? But I managed to get through to her for a moment. Brackhaus studies your face closely. Were you? Were you indeed? I'm pleased to hear it. And what did you learn? That dragons aren't all alike. That first Firewing had a reason for attack. That is true, no ancient dragon acts without reason. My lady was a nurturer, a caregiver, rare among her kind. Where her brothers and sisters saw the world as a prize to be won, she saw it as a garden to be tended. Can you imagine? For world upon world, the great dragon Firewing brought wisdom and succor to countless souls, and she was loved for it, exalted, a goddess. When she awoke from the long slumber in 2012 and saw what the world had become, what metahumanity had done to the garden she had tended for great ages, she struck. Struck with the rage, with regret, frustration, and anguish of a mother whose children had played with fire and burned the house down, killing themselves in the blaze. She unleashed fire and death through her tears. And now she's free again, and insane, the perfect addition to the Sixth World. Thanks for the lecture, Professor. Now, who are you? You seem to know a lot about dragons, Hans. Think your employer wants to tell me all this? Wants you telling me all this? I'm sure of it. You may consider this conversation an employment interview. For a very influential client, one who plays extraordinarily well, or pays extraordinarily well. Now listen. The man removes his hands from his knees, folds them in his lap. I tell you all of this so that you have context, perspective, before I ask you this next question, Shadowrunner. If the doctor's weapon had not required the dragon fire, if it had been capable of destroying every dragon on Earth without touching a hair on metahumanity's head, would you have used it? I think so. The world's complicated enough. Definitely dragons are too powerful. Yep, the world doesn't belong to dragons, it's ours. No, I don't think so. Who knows what would fill the power vacuum left behind? I don't know. This is bigger than me. No, not really keen on wiping out an entire species. At that point, what? You just wind up becoming members of, what was that group? You become like the guys who perpetuated the Night of Rage. Monochromatic thinking, but I appreciate a career criminal's attempt at morality. Of course, you feel that wiping out a species is wrong. The feeling is subtle, but ingrained defense mechanism that should be cherished. One day, it may be metahumanity poised for extermination. Well, on to the business at hand. My employer wishes to secure your team's services for a series of operations that will likely require the remainder of 2054. Sounds interesting. Who's the boss? The boss is the great dragon Lufware. He is sometimes referred to as the Golden Worm. Perhaps you've heard of him. As this man has golden eyes, what makes you think I'm going to make a deal with the dragon? His eyes glint. Because you have already been working for him. For some time now, Mynheer. Or did you think Green Winters found the Harfeld Manor on his own? Oh, Lufware. Well, that puts a spin on things. Doesn't it? The rattle of wheel on track gives way to shimmying screech, or to a shimmying screech. Gradually, the train begins to slow. He glances up at the U-Bahn map on the wall and smiles. This is my stop. Coming? Well, what do you know? Looks like this is my stop too. Maybe in the Seventh World, Hans, but not today. No way. I'm no dragon's pawn. When you see your boss, you tell him that. I'd rather floss my teeth with monomolecular wire. I've got nowhere else to be. Maybe in the Seventh World, Hans, but not today. As you wish. Auf Wiedersehen. Train comes to a halt, and the doors open. Brackhaus stands, brushes off his Italian suit, and exits without another word. As you watch him leave, you look up to find an advertisement for Worm Talk above the subway car door. Brackhaus stops on the platform and glances back at you. The light from the car reflecting yellow in his gaze. The door closes and he's gone. The train lurches forward again. It picks up speed and begins threading its way beneath Berlin into the shadows. We literally got offered a job by the Golden Worm, but Stealth just was not in for it. I think Stealth's kind of just looking for his own stuff right now, for his group to take care of their own missions. But hey, maybe the 7th world might come very soon for Stealth. And considering how Hans plays, it's very possible that Stealth could wind up working for him in the future. Berlin news facts continue. Just one report of a large-scale explosion in the countryside of East Berlin. An abandoned castle reportedly consumed in a massive fireball that shakes the countryside and leaves a crater 60 feet deep. A natural gas leak is suspected and the location is soon cordoned off by unidentified corporate forces. Good job, Luftwaffe. This news is eclipsed when Shader Krupp announces its acquisition of Arian Space, the last remaining arm of the European space program. The Flux State's anarchist rule remains until 2055, when joint corporate forces acting with the support of the German government invaded the city. It's widely known that the Great Dragon is responsible for orchestrating this action. After weeks of fighting, the surviving anarchists are forced to retreat to the eastern part of the city. A truce is signed, and in 2060, Berlin is again divided by a wall. The Great Dragon Dunkelzahn is elected president and the United Canadian and American states in 2057. He is promptly assassinated as he leaves an inauguration party at the Watergate Hotel. While in human form, popular opinion is that another Great Dragon is responsible. Huh. I wonder who. As only a dragon can kill a dragon. I don't know about that. But those in the shadows hint that the act of powerful blood magic is the cause. Grainy photographs of a large winged creature crossing a full moon above the Harz mountains circulate in Germany for several years. Conspiracy theorists take this evidence that a new great dragon has emerged, but when no further sightings are reported, interest wanes. The name of Dr. Adrian Volkler has since been lost to the shadows. Thank you all for hanging out with me and enjoying this lovely playthrough. Shadowrun Dragonfall is one of, by far, my favorite games. I love it. The modding community did amazing things when it was released and continue to do some cool stuff. Thank you all very much. If you want to learn some more about Shadowrun, maybe the lore of the actual tabletop game, hit me up in the comments down below, because I've been looking forward to talking all about that. I could talk about Luftwaffe in great detail, Dunkelzahn and his quote-unquote assassination, and how the good doctor's plans could have destroyed the 6th world. Anyhow, thank you all. Please be excellent to each other, and have a nice day. Peace.